All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Peace and salutations to Lekaki on the four corners position with sincerity. Peace be unto you. Shalom. This lesson I want to get on is about prayers and why a prayer might not be heard. Some people, and you get this from Christian church, and there's some brothers even in this faith that have this belief that uh, your prayers are not heard just because you don't have enough faith. All right, and that's not necessarily true. You can have all the faith in the world, and your prayer not be heard if it's not of the will of God. If God doesn't want something for you, it doesn't matter how much faith that you have. All right, understand what faith in the Bible you're supposed to have. You're supposed to have faith. The faith you're supposed to have in this Bible that God commands us to have is to have faith in Him. Let me emphasize that. Have faith in Him. What He said and the promises He made. You're supposed to continue and have faith in that. He said He was coming back. You should have faith in that. You are not supposed to have faith in your own personal thoughts. That's the will of man. I might, it's, I'm a man, I'm a son of Adam. It might be my will to make it to the NBA. That's my will. That's not the Heavenly Father's will. It don't matter how much faith that I have. I'm gonna make it to the NBA. If it's not Heavenly Father's will, hey, then it ain't about to go down. And if it does go down, it still was Heavenly Father's will, but it was His will to give you that to show you a lesson of something bigger you need to learn, which is something really you would like to learn lessons the easiest way as possible, if possible. You know, I'll say another thing too. You have, for instance, Paul. He had a thorn in his flesh, and he prayed for it to be removed. He asked for it to be removed. Did God say, "Oh well, I would remove it, but you need to have more faith. Got to keep that faith"? No. He said, "My grace is sufficient for thee. You good. You straight. You got this." And that's what it was. My grace is sufficient for thee. And you gotta think that throughout life. You gotta understand that the Heavenly Father, when He commands us to have faith in what He says. Oh man, I want this job. I just gotta have faith. If through the will of God, if it be Thy will be done. You ask for stuff that you want, but you also basically say, if it's Your will, Thy will be done, because it's an understanding that what I ask for might not be God's will. So going into a few verses. Did I drop that verse? Oh, I hope I didn't drop it, or I can find it fast. Okay. Yep, I found it. Yeah, we about to get into reasons why your prayers might not be answered. Sirach 34 and verse 26. I'll start at verse 25. Sirach 34:25. He that washes himself after he toucheth a dead body, if he touch it again, what availeth his washing? So is it with a man that fasteth for his sins and goeth again and doeth the same. Who will hear his prayer? Or what doth his humbling profit? So who gonna hear your prayer if you just all the types of matter of sin? You think Heavenly Father? Nope, he ain't trying to hear that. You in the middle of sin and you ask for stuff? Nah, nope, you forget that. So keeping of the laws, that is one of the things that helps us to where God will hear our prayers. You think you can commit all manner of sin and wickedness and God hears your prayers? No, that's not how that shit works. And another one is Sirach. This is Sirach chapter 3, verse 5. It says, Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard. So you honor your father. And what's that? That goes back to the law, one of the 10 Commandments. Honor thy mother and thy father. So you honor your father, your prayers. That's another way how you get your prayers heard. Again, what's the common denominator? The law. Keeping that law. Keeping that law goes well. This is why sometimes you want to pray for other people because God might not hear their prayer. God might hear your prayer that you're praying for them. You know, Yahweh Shai said, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." You in the midst of sin. You not qualified to pray for yourself. So what? You need somebody who is more qualified to pray for you on your behalf than you. Proverbs 21 should be verse 3. Isaiah, Sons of Solomon. Here we go. Proverbs 21 verse, is it 3? 13, Slakia. Wait, 21? Yep. Sirach 21 and 13. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry himself, but shall not be heard. So he shall not be heard. I mean, what? You cry to God. So that's another one. You not honoring your father, you in all manner of sin, and you see the poor in front of you, you just shut your ears. You ain't trying to hear that. You not gonna be heard. So that's how you get in with the Heavenly Father. Slide, one second. You know, you want to make sure that you're doing right by your wife. You know, you gotta walk this walk. You gotta not just talk it. You gotta really live it. This is a lifestyle, baby. And on that note, I hope this lesson has been edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Peace, salutations, and shalom.